So very, very cool. I think Crash is very, very likely for Smash Brothers because Activision owns that license. It's not a Sony exclusive anymore. Activision is the one who can publish it, and they can publish it on whatever they want. And we're going to be getting the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch as well. So that's really, really important, man.
It's definitely not wrong to want a character like Crash Bandicoot. He's at the top of everyone's lists, for one reason or another. I personally think it's because they're just hyped over the last Nintendo Direct more than actually having a fondness for Crash Bandicoot, but I digress. The odds of Crash Bandicoot appearing in Smash Bros. Is slim. Maybe even higher odds if you were post-production DLC. Here's the thing. Crash is getting a game ported over to the Switch, but so what? Little do people know that the game is also coming to PC and Xbox One. How does this indicate a partnership between Nintendo and Activision? People are thinking that maybe Bethesda will get a character in Smash Bros. Or Ubisoft. Ubisoft has always had a strong relationship with every console manufacturer. I mean, Rayman 1 was on the Atari Jaguar. These relationships happen all the time, and the product that is Smash Bros. Is hardly ever affected by it. What did wii-u mean for the relationship between Nintendo and Capcom? Nothing really. What did Cloud mean for the relationship between Nintendo and Square? Nothing really. It was all a matter of third parties wanting the promotion, and Nintendo wanting the money from DLC, so those deals were done. The only scenario for Crash to end up in Smash Bros. Was if Nintendo or Sakurai really showed interest in the character and went out of their way to obtain the rights to him. Activision is rather on the corporate side of the game developer spectrum. They don't really have any outspoken personalities on their team. I'm not sure which certain individual you would talk to about getting Crash Bandicoot in Smash Bros. They aren't willing to do crossovers like other AAA developers. They're willing to put Nintendo characters in their own products to help drive sales, but they aren't really willing to put their characters in Nintendo products for the same purpose. Skylanders Superchargers, for instance, featured Donkey Kong and Bowser as playable characters in the Wii U version. But we have yet to see a character like Crash Bandicoot or Spyro inside of a game that isn't owned by Activision in any way. When a third-party developer asks Nintendo for a partnership, which is most of these cases for third-party characters in Smash Bros., they want the promotion. The third party wants to benefit from having a presence in Nintendo's product. When Nintendo asks the developer if they can use a third-party character for Smash Bros., it usually has to do with Nintendo wanting to market their own product rather than someone else's. You can even consider the Inklings in Smash Bros. As a means for Nintendo to market their product. They aren't going to be in the game to get people to buy another game. Nintendo is thinking, what are we going to get out of putting this third-party character in the game? Of course Sonic, Pac-Man and Mega Man are in the game to sell copies above all else. Sure, you have had Solid Snake and Bayonetta, that are Sakurai fetishes above all else, but they do have audiences, albeit rather niche ones that were willing to buy the product and its DLC. And the same argument can be made for Shovel Knight. Nintendo can very well make the decision to put Shovel Knight in Smash Bros. As well, but for what benefit? Is Shovel Knight going to draw Nintendo money better than another character they want to acquire for their product? For now, the roster for Super Smash Bros. Should be finalized at this point. Third parties probably have been contacting Nintendo regarding Super Smash Bros. Since the Wii U and 3DS versions were in development. If Activision really were interested in putting Crash in Smash Bros., they should have been in talks with them a long time ago. And as I said before, the only way Nintendo would make it happen is if they want to put him in the game over characters like Rayman, Scorpion, Bomberman, Lara Croft, and many other video game icons. Well, actually two reasons. The second reasons being if Sakurai was madly obsessed with Crash. That isn't to say that it isn't possible, but there is a lot that is going against the idea considering that all we know is that there's one Crash Bandicoot game that is going multi-platform. But what do you all think? Do you believe Crash Bandicoot is likely to be in the next Smash Bros. Game? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.